Okay, the 2026 Utah legislative session starts today. Can you believe that? The short 45-day session allows for lawmakers to meet in Salt Lake City to present bills they want to see passed this year.
So joining us right now is former Utah Governor Gary Herbert with his thoughts on the agenda for this session. Governor Herbert, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you. It's an honor to be with you as always. And it really is a red letter day because it is the beginning of the 2026 legislative session. And a lot's going to be happening up there. A little context, everybody wants to do their work. Every legislator wants to be able to report to their constituents all the great things they've done. So they'll introduce about 950 new bills.
Well,
I'm working up here hard, and they'll pass about 550 of them.
Yeah, that's
so
a lot
there's
of work.
a lot going on, from great big things to small little things. Some are corrective things. And interestingly enough, too, in the state of Utah, in the Senate, we have about 90% of those bills will pass virtually unanimously. In the House, it's about 85%. So we have a lot of, collaboration, cooperation. The ones that you'll be talking about are the ones that we don't have that on, some of the more controversial bills coming up that will be in the headlines.
Well, it's, as we know, predominantly Republican, so that's probably why a lot of the bills make their way through, right?
Well, except that, what I've learned for the 12 years I was governor is that, most of the issues we have the same desired outcome. We differ in process of how to get from here to there. And so that's some of the discussion. And the devil's always in the details. We all want to have good education. We all want to have good infrastructure, roads. We want to take care of the environment. How we do that and how much money we spend is a big part of the discussion.
So, Governor, let's talk about, we've heard from the GOP, some of the priorities they have listed are cost of living, strong families, limited government, infrastructure, and public safety. And on the Democratic side, they have said safeguarding Utah's future, like the Great Salt Lake, education, affordability, defending the Constitution, and democracy. Those sets of priorities that we've heard from the parties, what do you think about those?
Well, they sound fine. I mean, everybody's got a list of priorities, but who knows what's going to happen around the next corner over the next week or two. The number one reason for them getting together is, in fact, creating a budget. How do we spend the taxpayers' dollars? And it's about $30 billion, so there's a lot of money there. How you spend it kind of demonstrates your priorities. For example, the number one priority for most people today by polling is still education. Always has been, probably always will be. Sometimes the economy trumps it when we're in a bad economy. But today, the number one issue is how much money are you going to spend on education? That'll be the biggest thing. And that's part of the budget. It's the largest part of the budget. So how much are you going to spend on infrastructure, on roads and construction? Sometimes we've been building a lot of roads, but we haven't taken care of the maintenance aspects of the roads we built.
Okay, is there one bill that maybe we should keep an eye out for, that, I mean, aside from education, that type of thing, that would be very important?
Well, I think this discussion about the courts is very important. The judiciary, the third branch of government. I'm a little concerned about some of the things I've heard about, should we elect the judges? I think that would be a very bad idea. We're going to change the Supreme Court from 5 to 7, probably not a bad idea, but you ought to take care of the lower courts first. And that means you ought to talk to the judiciary. They're saying we need more district courts, we need judges, we need more appellate court judges. Then finally, maybe we can expand the Supreme Court from 5 to 7. I also am concerned about having people talk about we need to have a balance in there. It shouldn't matter whether a judge is a Democrat or Republican, how they vote, whether they're liberal or conservative. It should be just the courts. We've done a disservice to the judiciary over the past number of years by talking about a liberal court and a conservative court. It should be just the court. And it shouldn't matter one iota whether you're a Democrat or Republican. You take the facts, apply the law, and render a decision based on the law. No legislative action from the bench. And so that's something to watch very carefully. There will be a lot of discussion and debate on that. Certainly as it dovetails into Proposition 4 and redistricting and those kinds of things.
Governor, what do you think the people of Utah want from their lawmakers? And do you think legislators are actually giving them what they want?
I think they do. Again, we should tip a hat to the legislators. They work hard. It's not an easy job. Kind of work in anonymity in most of the cases, unless you do something wrong, then you make a headline. But they start at 7 o'clock in the morning. They go to 7 o'clock at night. Those 12-hour days, over the next 45-day session, can take a toll. It's hard work, and you can't please everybody. That's the sad truth about it. So you got to be able to articulate what the people of Utah want is what we've been getting: balanced budgets, proper prioritization of what the needs of the people of Utah are, a very healthy, most healthy, diverse economy in America today. That should be the number one focus for every elected official. If you get the economy right, then everything else kind of falls into place. Money for roads, for transportation, money for education, money for environmental, for health and human services. Try doing that if you don't have a good economy that's not growing. So the American dream is alive and well here, upward mobility. We have the lowest poverty rate in the nation. We are getting what we want here in Utah, and that's a blessing to all of us, thanks to Republicans and Democrats working together.
Okay, Governor, probably the most important question or observation that we're going to make today is we caught you in the confetti of the grand opening of the Pink Box Donut Shop down in American Fork. What's that all about?
Well, doesn't everybody like donuts? You bet. Pink Box, which has 11. They started in Las Vegas, have 11 outlets in Las Vegas, one in St. George. That's the one that we just opened up here in American Fork, and it was a great day. They had about 2,000 people showed up there. Fire trucks and people. It took you about 45 minutes to get through the line to get a donut. They're very good. I recommend everybody go down there and have a sample. And that was my favorite thing to do this week.
I bet it was.
Well, you know what? Donuts are bipartisan, so there you go.
That's right.
Always put a smile on your face.
Yeah, we finally found equal grounds, right?
Excellent. Governor Herbert, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
You've been great to be with you, and let's keep in touch for the next 45 days. Will be some great stuff happen.
Oh, yeah.
For you, I believe.
We'll have a lot to talk about, I'm sure.
We'll talk to you later. Governor, thanks for being with us.